Welcome back, Chuck here at Garden Spot Acres. Video 44 in a tiny house log cabin build. Today we're going to be working on the wall hung bathroom sink. And I'm going to make this from scratch from start to finish. Taking a 1x12 pine board. Let me see if I can flip this over. And I've glued on a 3/8 inch PVC board on top of that. All right, let's go ahead and get these clamps off. I had this clamped overnight. Here's a closer look at that base that I made. I've had overhanging here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a piece on the back like this. We're going to attach that with staples and glue. And that'll be the support that goes on the wall that holds the whole sink. Now I'll attach these sides like this. Do. And any high spots, I'll take my orbital sander, we'll sand that off. And you can sand this PVC. Just want to make sure you use a really fine grit on it. And if you haven't seen this before, this is just a warming pan, a bain-marie pan, I guess they call it. The paper gasket goes on top of that rubber gasket. That's so that when you're tightening this on, it doesn't catch the rubber and start turning the rubber. Now you don't want to turn this on so tight that you squeeze out all your sealant. Okay, got that all tightened on. This was all tightened on before, so I don't have to wrench on this sink when I'm all done. It has squished out all the way around the inside, so it's got a good seal in there, but it's still not squished all out like I warned you about before. Now we're going to set that aside for a little bit, let that cure. Now I'm just going to go ahead and sand this up. And I do have a little gap right there, and what I'm going to do is run a little bit of wood glue in here, and while I'm sanding, that should fill up and just seal that right up. I'll be using some 320 grit sandpaper. And I'm going to cut this lip off right here. But I think that's enough weight in there to hold that. That Lexol is a sealant and a glue. While this is curing, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my faucet. I have a shank extender here that I need to get down through here, because this threaded shank here is not long enough to go down through both of these and put the nut on and put the water supply on. Make sure when you put your Teflon tape on that you're going with the direction that you're tightening. A lot of people said they've had a lot of trouble with these PVC shank extenders leaking. Well, I really didn't want to pay 30 bucks a piece for copper shank extenders. I needed 2 of them, and 2 of these were $10. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this doesn't leak. Make sure I have everything together here that I need. And she's seated in there. So the way that works is I got to drill a hole now in my sink base that fits that nut. I'll drop that down in. You can see that that flange right there covers that. This will go on. I might need 2 of them. And you tighten that on. And that goes right up against the bottom of the base, your countertop. And it tightens right on. Then I'll see how much thread that gives me now for my water supply. Time to put the sink in. What I've done here in the bathroom, just put a little ledger board underneath here to hold the sink while I attach it to the wall. To attach it, we're going to use some 2-inch deck screws with a washer, just so that the deck screws don't just keep drilling right on through the pine back. There, just going to center that now. I'm going to use this right here to center. Actually, it looks good right there. I think that looks pretty nice in there. It's pretty solid. Water connection is going to be here. My water connection is going to be along the back wall here. So I'll have one right in here. I'll have one over here behind the shower. And I'll have one through that wall back there into the cabinet in the kitchen. So it'll be one feed all the way through with 3 outlets in it. Now we're going to head outdoors. It's getting dark. I got one more little project to finish up. And it's going to be cutting some corner shelves out of a stair tread. Let's go take a look at that. April 12th. The sun is just setting. It was 86 degrees today. Right now it's about 72. And here's a 4-foot stair tread where I have it set up so that I'm cutting a corner shelf here, this corner shelf. Those 2 are going to have the bull nose on them. Then it's going to give me one large corner shelf with a flat edge. And it's going to give me 2 small corner shelves with the flat edge all the way around. So I get, out of one 4-foot stair tread, I get 2 bull nose corner shelves, 1 flat edge corner shelf, which is the same size as these 2, except it's flat edged, and 2 smaller ones. And the waste out of this whole thing is right here, this strip. And it also gives you the inch thickness. So I got a little one. That don't look too bad, actually. There's my two corner ones with the rounded edges. Two squared edge ones. And a third squared edge one. Here are the finished corner shelves that I made out of the stair tread. And the two with the rounded nose, they're going to go right here in the kitchen. Let me just show you how I finished those up. On the larger ones, I took a 1.5 inch or 1 3/4 inch wide strip, glued it, nailed it onto the bottom of the shelf, cut a little decorative edge on it so it just wasn't look so sharp. I did that on both sides. And instead of meeting these in the middle here, I just barely overlap them so that the distance from here to here would be the same. So these are exactly the same length. And on the back of the shelf, I just cut off this corner. That way you're not having to deal with any corner with your shelf, but everything is hidden. So you can get a little close up there of how that looks. Knock this back corner off. Don't meet these here coming into a corner or a 90. Just back them off and leave a little gap there. So when you put them on the wall, they sit right back tight. And there's a little gap in there. But that keeps that from hitting any imperfections in the corner where this wouldn't back right up nice and neat. So now all you need here, let me just hold that back up here. Now all you need here are a couple screws on each side of this, and you have your nice little corner shelf. And see where I want to place it. I think up there would be good for that first one. Get up in there. She's actually good that way. And let's see what we're looking like there. Now a little bit more. That looks excellent right there. That's going nowhere. I don't know if you can see that, but that's why you don't want to put your corners. If you don't have perfect corners, you want to cut that little edge off, that little corner on your shelf. That way it could set back farther against the wall. So I think that came out looking pretty good. See what happens to this one now. Gotta bring it up. I think that looks pretty good there in the corner. All right, let's go ahead and put this one over here in this corner. I want to get this one in up here out of the way. There, that shelf is in. Okay, let's head to the bathroom and let's get those last two corner shelves put in. I think I'll put the first one in right about there. And the back has to go down. That doesn't even look too bad for being the scrap corner shelves, you know, with the raw edge on them. That looks pretty nice. Yeah, you get some nice end grain, but it's still laminated on the top and on the bottom. Well, that didn't take long. Looks pretty good. What's next? We gotta get down here and measure for the toe kick. My toe kick, I'm going to use the same PVC boards, the 3/8 inch boards that I used on the bathroom sink. But I think I'm going to have to go 2 layers with them because I have a 3/8 inch gap here. And those boards are a little less than 3/8. That board is anyways. So I'm going to have to go 2 layers. That shouldn't be a biggie once I start ripping them on the table, so I was just ripping it twice. And it looks like I need 2.5 inches will do it. Make sure it's dotted down there where I need it. Get it in close. Okay. Hit hold. Let's see what we need. 4 foot 11 3/8. Those shelves came out of a piece of old hemlock, just like this one here. I thought these would look really nice in the kitchen area. Let's see, we're going to put the first shelf up in this area up here. Probably here. Then that shelf will kind of tend to hide this stuff up here. So let's put that shelf right about there. So that first one has to be 3 foot 2.5 inches. Put the next one in that area. 3 foot 2 9/16. 3 foot 2 9/16. Then I'll put one down in this area down here. 3 foot 2 5/8. My saw is just a little too small for this. But if you just flip it over, you get a nice edge anyways. There, you got 5. I think I'm gonna make my support brackets 5 inches long. That looks good. Yep. So these little doohickeys here will be cut to 5 inches and then glued and stapled, or glued and brad nailed onto here. That'll support the shelves. Now I can just keep bringing it over to the mark. And I'll cut that bad spot out. We'll keep this piece. And I'm going to make sure I get all these the same way. Okay. I think I'm going to attach these shelves and varnish them in place. Okay, we got our level left and right. Now I have to level this up front to back now. So I gotta put my level this way. Then I think I have to bring up, yeah, that front edge a little bit. And she's got to go up. We go pop the second one in. How's that looking? step back here so you can get a perspective. I kind of like this little nook here I left. These shelves are out of the way. They don't stick out into the room. I like that. Yeah, I decided to go with only 3 shelves over here in that little nook. I think if I put another one in, they get too useless actually. So I got some up here for shorter stuff. I can actually put some taller stuff in behind. Some taller stuff here, a little shorter stuff. But if I try to put 4 shelves in here, it gets the cabinet not worthwhile for anything. Well, thanks for coming along on the video. If you could you hit that like button, leave a comment, share with your friends and families. I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. You don't want to miss the next one. We'll see you on the next video. Hope you guys have a great evening. Bye-bye.